Ooh. One take. Alright. Let's do it. Let's get her done. So, just had a chance to see this tonight. Well, technically yesterday, but got to see this last night, and I like Suicide Squad and BVS. It's irrelevant which edition, Ultimate Edition, Theatrical Edition, whatever. Batman or BVS and Suicide Squad. There are scenes that I loved in both films, but I was massively disappointed by both films. I thought they were incredibly flawed, and it really just lowered the bar in terms of excitement for upcoming DC cinematic films. But and even walking into Wonder Woman, despite all the rave reviews, I was still like, nigga, no, I don't know, but I don't know. But as soon as I left the film, I was like, holy fucking shit, this movie is actually fantastic. Like Wonder Woman is actually fantastic. And for the record, I love Man of Steel. Okay, I gave Man of Steel a 9 out of 10. I fucking love that movie. I've never understood why people hate on that movie so hard. I love Man of Steel. I think it's a near masterpiece, in my personal opinion. And Hans Zimmer on the mix? Goddamn. But anyway, alright, so the Wonder Woman starts off at the Louvre, I think. And Wonder Woman's looking at this fucking badass picture that was also in BVS, right? And then we go back in time and we get to see a stretch of the upbringing of a young Diana when she was living on Themyscira, which may be one of the last times I referred to that fucking island, her Amazonian homeworld, because I fucked up Themyscira. I fucked up that name so many times today. I said it like a bunch of times today. I was like, I'm gonna get this fucking name down. I was like, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. I spent probably like 5 minutes like saying that name again and again. Anyway, so yeah, this whole introduction to her younger self and showing just the world of Themyscira was, this place is beautifully realized. Her home world is so beautifully realized. Holy shit. The photography, the cinematography in this film is fan-fucking-tastic. It is pretty extraordinary. I mean, I think the only issue that I have with this film visually is that there's just a lot of CGI going on in this film. Like there was this sequence on a beach. There's like a beach battle, literally, where those soldiers came through. It was like right after Chris Pine swept up onto the shore and Gal Gadot. Could you imagine waking up to Gal Gadot for the first time, just like Chris Pine did? Like Jesus Christ, I would have thought she was a fucking angel. Anyway, so this beach battle is happening right here. The only negative I have about the visuals is that, and this is technically a flaw, is that like the CGI, whenever it was there, it was always apparent. It was always apparent. Like I might not be able to like write out a fucking essay of like how it was explicitly executed, but like I knew it was there, you know. And I mean, but it was never bad. It was never terrible. But it wasn't the best, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you. Like a really great example would be this moment on the beach where this bullet is whizzing past Wonder Woman. Okay, this woman who gets shot right here, like the moment that she gets hit, I swear to God, like her body went completely CGI or was like CGI for like a full 1 to 2 seconds or something like that, and it kind of took me out of the moment just a little bit, just like a tiny bit, you know. But the good thing about this film is the editing. Like when there is a lot of CGI going on, there's a lot of the editing is very frenetic, you know, so you don't have time to be like to stare at something and be like, oh man, that's really bad. You know, the editing is so quick that even if the CGI is off, like with this woman who dies right here, the editing goes by so fast. It's like whatever. It was sufficient enough. It wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was kind of somewhere in the middle, but it was sufficient. So that was my only gripe, is that the CGI at times either was just good or it was like fine. It's good enough for me to like we can get past this. Like I'm not gonna dock like 5 points because I thought the CGI was bad. And seriously, the Island of Themyscira was fucking the way that it was realized in this film. Honestly, blew my mind. Shots like this of the architecture and like the buildings, I was just blown away. Like I truly got a sense of what this whole entire environment was like. And I just thought that was so fascinating. It was just so gorgeous to look at. And watching Diana kind of like slowly training, and there was one part actually where, let me see here, this moment right here where she was fighting Robin Wright, training, and Gal Gadot's just like, ah, and this fucking like energy wave, just like fucking like shock waves everyone. That part was dope as shit. My God. Let me see here. But yeah, just the environments are just beautifully realized. Like even when they, which could have just been a small thing, but when they get to London, Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, when they get to London, I was just like, yo, they brought this fucking, I think it was like 1918 version of London, or 1918 London, I should say. They just brought that to life so well. It was just wow, It really felt like when Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, when they were like walking just the streets. I mean, it really felt like you were in that time period. So I think Patty Jenkins did such a phenomenal job photographing and just realizing the environments in this film. I thought she did an incredible job. Let's talk about Gal Gadot here for a second, because she, man, it must have been so intimidating taking this job of being Princess Diana, Wonder Woman, and I thought she did such a good job. When she was first cast, the only thing that I said at the time was I thought she was skinny for Wonder Woman, but other than that, you could see it. Okay, you could see it. The woman is fucking beautiful. You know what I mean? So like, and it's like an exotic beauty, and it fits. It fits Wonder Woman to me, and like I thought she did such a good job. Not only looking the part, but playing the part, the acting. I was never personally worried about her acting because she hadn't really been in enough to suggest that, like, oh shit, she might fuck this up. You know what I mean? So I was never too concerned, especially since she already looks the part. But no, physicality, beauty, and acting wise, I thought she did such a great fucking job. There was one moment where on the beach when Robin Wright, which, by the way, shout out to Robin Wright, old Claire from House of Cards, and Jenny from Forrest Gump, for those of you who don't realize. But just look at her. Like, Robin Wright was getting it. Like, she died like a fucking OG. Jesus Christ. Like, that stance, it's so fucking... To think that that's Claire Underwood is fucking me up. But anyway, so when she's, like, dying on the beach, right? Like, Gal Gadot's reaction, crying, I thought was really good. I thought was convincing. You know what I mean? There was another moment, like in the third act of the film, where Gal Gadot runs into like a village, and like the gas had ignited and like killed everyone, and Wonder Woman was really emotional, and Chris Pine was trying to console her, but she was like, no, maybe you're just like them, maybe you're bad or whatever. And then she runs off, and then Chris Pine follows behind her on on his motorcycle, Yeah, like in that scene, I thought she did great. There's many scenes like that where I thought she did really good. Like also when it was okay, this sequence right here, when Wonder Woman decides to leave the island, uh, with Chris Pine, and she's talking to her mother right here. Which, by the way, fucking Wonder Woman's mother, the actually, let me like it. I'm going all over the place. All right, getting random. Where's the mother? I thought I had a picture of Diana's mother somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, I thought I did, but either way, the actress playing her mother, like you could tell that chick was bad as hell. Just rewind the clock back I mean, she still looks good, but like rewind the clock back like 20 years, 15 years. Like, yo, you could tell she was a bad looking woman right there. It's a good looking woman. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so this sequence right here, Wonder Woman, she's about to leave the island with Chris Pine. And what was I going to talk about? Oh, the acting. Because there was a moment where Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, they're on this boat, the sailboat, out in the middle of the ocean. And she's talking about Ares. And she delivers this one line in such a way about Ares where I think Chris Pine was trying to maybe attempt to tell her, like, Ares isn't really real, but like she says something like, "Well, we have to find him. It's important." She like says a certain few lines where Chris Pine is just like, "You know what? Yeah, Ares. Yeah, I'll thank you to him." Like just her acting. My main point was, I thought she did really good. I thought she was really convincing, and also the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine was outstanding in this film. I thought it was really palpable. It was really believable. Like I don't know if like in real life if they're really good friends or because if someone had told me like how many films do you think Chris Pine and Gal Gadot have been in? I'd probably be like, I mean, maybe like 3 or 5 because they really hit it off well. I mean, they truly just have really believable, convincing chemistry in this film, which the amount of times that does not happen in films is painful. But when they try to make that happen, chemistry between two actors, like in the oh god, what are those terrible 50 Shades of Grey? Those two lead actors in those two movies, they have the worst on-screen chemistry. I do not believe. Oh my god, it's like so painfully clear that like they're like just friends only in real life. Anyway, but yeah, the sequence with Gal Gadot and Chris Pine in the sailboat, I thought was brilliant. There was so much great comedy there, and I love the way that they played off each other. And also the more that they played off each other, the more that we got a piece of their personalities as well. And it was really fucking funny when Gal Gadot when she was like, why don't you sleep with me? And Chris Pine's like, all right, I'll sleep with you. And then when they're talking about sex, and she's like, oh yeah, I've read all 12 books on the all 12 books on the body pleasures or something like that. I was like, damn, like what the fuck happened on volume 12? Holy shit. Anyway, where do I want to go next? I just lost myself for a second. Oh yeah, the another flaw. Okay, flaws. So the CGI at times was kind of like, whatever. It's one flaw. Another flaw is the villains just didn't. The execution of the villains just wasn't good. It wasn't enough to be like, oh my god, that was terrible. Holy shit, it wasn't that bad. But I was to be honest with you, the execution of the villains, Ares and this guy, just were not good. This dude and the old mask lady just felt. This guy and her just felt so shoehorned into the film. Personally, every time that we got to scenes with him, I was just like, yeah. Whenever we get past this scene, great, because This character just kind of. It almost felt like they had to meet like a villain quota, and so they just like threw this character in there. Didn't really care for his character. Great actor though, but yeah. And then Ares, who was played by Ares, wasn't too bad though. Um, However, the whole reveal that Ares was actually this actor the whole time. This is another really good actor, by the way. But the whole time that this was Ares, that plot twist didn't have the effect that they were probably hoping to have. You know, I think they were kind of hoping for the reveal of him being Ares to be like, oh, but yeah, no. I kind of like when the reveal happened, I was just like, oh, all right. I mean, I genuinely didn't see it coming, but the execution was done in such a way that like it didn't like blow my mind personally. It wasn't like, oh my god, it wasn't anything like that. But and so I was kind of underwhelmed, especially since it was this actor as he looks, kind of like being all mighty and powerful and fighting Wonder Woman. Didn't really like that aspect because I was like, the way that they were talking up Ares, you know, I was expecting to see like some Dwayne Johnson looking motherfucker and like the most devilish looking armor just beating the shit out of Gal Gadot, you know. So when it was just this actor, how he looks, trying to be this almighty Ares fighting Wonder Woman, for the first part of their battle sequence in the third act, I was kind of like, okay. But whenever he was all, you know, he was all aflame, and when he walks out of flames, he's got the armor on that we saw from like the first half of the film, and then Gal and Ares are fighting. Like then it was fine. Then the whole Wonder Woman versus Ares fight was it was better. It was better for sure. But yeah, that was another flaw that I had. I just thought that the execution of the villains wasn't that great. Um, where do I want to go next? My God, this scene was so incredible. It gave me a little bit of goosebumps when they're walking through these trenches and Wonder Woman's like, "We gotta stop the Germans," and Chris Pine's like, "You can't go into no man's land. It's called no man's land. You'll die or whatever." And she turns around, and as soon as she did the slow pan, right, with the music, she drops this coat or whatever. She starts climbing that ladder. I was like, "Yo, let's go!" I just thought it was a genuinely epic moment. I mean, I didn't know that you can make climbing a fucking ladder epic, but my God, she in this moment and onward, all the way past her taking out the sniper, and like she's standing in the street with all these people thanking her, and she's got this big smile, and she's like shaking people's hands, and like yeah, from here all the way to there, I was like, yo, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. I really don't care what any of the haters got to say. Her acting is more than sufficient. I can't say that like her acting as Wonder Woman is exceptional, but it's really good. It's convincing. Her physicality is convincing. The beauty, good God. But yeah, she's that was a moment in the film where I was like, that's our Wonder Woman. That's our cinematic Wonder Woman. I will take it. I heard someone in some review was like, I don't like the way the lasso looks. The fuck? As far as the armor goes for her and the lasso, I liked it. I'm not like over the moon about it, but I had no issues with it. The hell? Some people's nitpicks, I'm just like, bruh, stop. Like, just stop being a bitch. Oh, this this was not something I thought I was going to talk about, but again, I think that the romance between, well, first off, the execution of Chris Pine's character I thought was great. In very, very little time, we had like almost a full understanding of his character, like his motivations, his personality, like when he had the lasso of truth behind, or not behind him, but when he had the lasso of truth sort of wrapped around him, or that scene, uh, the chemistry when he was naked in that cave, and Wonder Woman walks in. Um, Man, that would have been a situation if I was. I think his character's name was Steve or Steven. If I was him, man, that would have been a situation. I would have been like, "Yo, Wonder Woman, you got to get out." She'd be like, "Why?" I'd be like, "I'm about to get excited." She'd be like, "What happens? What happens?" Like, "Bitch, didn't you read 12 volumes?" Anyway, so this kissing, but yeah, we learned a lot about him in a pretty brief amount of time. His sense of humor, his personality, his motivations, what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish. Yeah, so very, very well done. Patty Jenkins did a great job in terms of executing the characters, except for the villains, in my personal opinion. She did a better job of executing, his little ragtag group that he had to put together. Um, like because there was that one guy who woke up at the campfire with a gun, and the Native American guy was like, "Yeah, he sees ghosts sometimes." Yeah, those guys. Yeah, the director did a better job of executing those characters and giving us information about those characters than the villains of the film. Weird, but anyway. But this moment right here, I thought was really great. This kiss between her, Wonder Woman, and I think the character's name is Steve. But it was just like I like the way that she built up the kiss here, without some cheesy line right before it happens or something like that. Like it really felt like an authentic, convincing moment. You know what I'm saying? And in that moment, I was like, "Yo, your boy just got in with Wonder Woman. God damn, my man." Uh, and I also like the moment where they were outside dancing and it starts to snow, because like Gal's reaction to the snow felt like genuine excitement and like, holy shit, I've actually never seen no fucking snow before. This is amazing. So yeah, but I don't know. I just really liked this scene. I liked the way it was photographed, and it was believable. The amount of kiss scenes that I see in the given year that are not believable because the chemistry does not work is nauseating. My God. So shout out to the actors on that. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else can I? Man, Gal is fine. Jesus Christ. Even when she was wearing this, she probably could have wore like a Hello Kitty tight as fuck pajama suit romper fucking thing, and she would still be looking good as hell. Boom, 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 boom. Is there anything else I particularly need to cover? Let me sift through the third act. What am I missing here? Um, when Chris Pine's character died, I genuinely cared on some real shit. I really cared. By the way, this moment here where Chris Pine he crashes in his plane and Gal Gadot jumps off there, Mascara. I said the name more than anyway. Jumps off the island, she dives into the water. And there's a moment where Chris Pine is still in the plane underwater and he's sinking and he looks up and you see the silhouettes of Wonder Woman like if I was a camera, right? And you're looking up underwater on the surface, like above the surface of the water, you see Wonder Woman standing there, the silhouette of her. That shot was awesome. God damn, that was his first image of Wonder Woman. Like, how epic is that? My God. Anyway, I just really loved that shot. That shot was dope. Um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Chris Pine. His death was surprisingly pretty emotive, actually. I don't know. For whatever reason, it actually got underneath my skin when he was flying off in the plane with the cargo of all the weapons and he shoots it and dies. Like, I was like, damn, they did such a great job with the execution of his character. Because, like, I actually cared when Chris Pine died. And I loved Wonder Woman's reaction, her scream of rage, and her breaking free and just going in on fucking Ares like fucking Neo at the end of the Matrix where he stops all the fucking bullets. Um, and again, I think that Gal Gadot did such a great job because that moment of when Chris Pine dies and her burst of rage and frustration, if she had done a really bad job, that could have been a torturous sequence to watch. And I thought she did a really, really good job. Really good job in this film. Um, but man, and especially how I really love this one little touch that Patty Jenkins put. It really emotionally resonated when um, Wonder Woman, she had been fighting Ares and her hearing was fucked up and she couldn't really hear anything. Chris Pine was trying to tell her something and then he hands her the watch and then he runs off. And then after he dies, skip a few scenes ahead, we go back to that sequence and we hear what Chris Pine was saying, you know, before he gives her the watch and he leaves. He leaves her for the last time, you know, to go suicide. And he's telling her, like, you know, that he loves her. And, like, that shit was fucking deep. That was just, I liked how the director did that. This shit got to me. It surprisingly got to me. That was just really well done. Where are we at time wise with the review? Oh, 26 minutes? Felt like we'd be at like 40 minutes. But no, yeah. The emotional moments really worked, and that reminds me of something that I'm so glad I didn't forget. The emotional moments, the emotional beats in this film work really well, surprisingly. This moment right here where Wonder Woman, she thinks that she's... Alright, I'm going to have to bring up his face because unfortunately forgot his character name. So in the third act, when Wonder Woman kills this guy with the sword, right? And she's like, okay, I've killed Ares, so now all the evil in the world. But she realizes, no, like nothing has changed, and like the argument between Wonder Woman and Chris Pine after that, I thought was so fucking deep. Like her reaction, her realization of the fact that like, holy shit, like there's all these people, and some of these people are doing bad things because they want to do them. Like that, just her realization of that. Like some of these people like are killing innocents, killing children, killing women. Like what? Like they're not under the effect of Ares. Like these people, like some people are good, some people are bad. Like her trying to wrap her mind around that, I thought was really powerful. And like Chris Pine trying to kind of calm her down, you know, and ease her into this realization. I thought that was really. I thought that was just a powerful thing to sort of, because you gotta think like a lot of little girls and whatnot, a lot of really young kids are gonna watch this film. And I thought that was a really good thing to take away. That yeah, people are fucked up, but they are still worth fighting for. So I just thought that was that message was relayed just beautifully and poignantly in this sequence where Chris Pine is like, "You need to come with me. I know some people are evil, some people are good. That's fucked up, but that's that's what we are. That's what man is." So I thought that was really done well. What else? What else? This is just a nitpick. This isn't a flaw. But like at the end of the film, the last shot of Wonder Woman like leaping through the air above London, and we see a faraway shot, wide shot, and then we see a shot of her coming towards the camera. I wish they could have ended off on a different note. That was like the most predictable route that you could have chose to end the film on in terms of like a final last image, but just small nitpick, real small, I was like, man, is she really ending the film on a superhero stance? And again, a nitpick. I'm not saying it's a flaw. I'm not saying I dodged 15 points, just nitpick, but that kind of just, I was like, Patty, Jesus. But I mean, it looked beautiful either way, the shot. So hey, kudos. Um, is there anything else that I particularly want to talk about? I don't think so. I think I've kind of covered it. Yo, this picture is so fucking badass. Jesus Christ. This picture right here, that shit is dope as fuck. Oh yeah, that's the ragtag group I was talking about. I probably should just brought up this picture, but yeah, the director did a better job of showing these other characters their backstory than the villains. That's weird, but the dude on the to the right of Chris Pine, that dude was cracking me up trying to hit on Wonder Woman. I like the part in the bar. This motherfucker was like, I am aroused and scared at the same time. Shit, if I was him, I would have said the same shit. I would have been trying to mac on Gal Gadot night and day. You know what I mean? Good lord. Teach me about them 12 volumes. But I think that's kind of all I really got to say. I had a wonderful time with this film. And honestly, the flaws, I mean, what, the weak villains, CGI in a few spots was, um, that's not much in terms of flaws. If you watch my reviews for Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad, Jesus Christ, I could have wrote a book about flaws. But in this film, there wasn't too many substantial flaws, to be honest with you. And there's a lot. You know, Patty Jenkins did an interesting balancing act with this film. You know, I mean, you're showing fantasy elements, and then you're showing kind of like war-ish elements, and then there's like superhero elements, and then there's like intimate romance elements, and then there's like comedy. And I thought the comedy was really good in this film. I thought the humor worked fantastically in this film. Actually, this movie had me rolling on a few occasions. Like some of the back and forth banter, comedic wise, between Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, I thought was worked really great. So personally, Man of Steel, I give a 9 out of 10. It's my favorite new DC cinematic film. Man of Steel is still my favorite in that regard. I think Man of Steel is fucking awesome. Holy shit! But Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, I gave a 9 out of 10. Wonder Woman, I'm feeling a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Wonder Woman. I surprisingly, I think it's pretty wonderful. I had a great time with it. But what you guys think about this? Well, let me know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this review, definitely make sure to smash that like button and subscribe as well. And yeah, I think that's all I got, guys. Really great film. I'm just in shock because I thought that the trailers were solid to Wonder Woman, but I was just like, I don't know, because of Suicide Squad and BVS. I don't know. So I mean, this was a much needed win for DC. So shout out to them. But yeah, those are my thoughts. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. You know, did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know why down in that comment box. And your boy is out. And man, Gal Gadot, she's fine. She's fine. Good lord, she needs I need to call her up. You know, tell me where's some other Israeli, you know, where's all these bad women at? Where's some more bad women? You know what I'm saying? She got some sisters. Gal got some sisters. You know what I'm saying? That I can meet. You dig? She got some cousins I can meet.